afternoon all of you, and here is a detailed analysis of JEE Advanced 2024 papers which is released by Alumni Organization of IIT Kanpur. And before I go further, disclaimer, this is not from the official IIT website. So there is extension of IIT Kanpur Alumni Organization. So group of students has given this, and I guess like this is the best way to like show you how to attempt the JEE Advanced paper. And since I'll also not be too biased because this is a new problem, so I'll be giving you a detailed solution of this and hints wherever is required. So before you go further, let's see how to attempt the actual JEE paper, and it's the best way to do so. So it's better first we screen and go through all the problems roughly within 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll make sure we end up this paper discussion in 1 hour. But in reality, you can take even 1 hour, 15 minutes for mathematics. As you know, usually we have to give little bit more time to maths and physics and then chemistry. So let's start with the first question. Now, again, the first question is not a completely recent one. So maybe you can call it easy to medium and move ahead. So I know it's from Telescopic series because the moment you see this, a similar problem appeared in the last JEE papers. And it's no wonder that you can see the difference between this argument k plus 1 times x minus kx is nothing but x, and which is written there. So sin x I can write as sine of k plus 1 times x minus kx, and that will give sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. So cos kx will get cancelled, we'll be left with 10k plus 1x minus cos a sin b, so cos kx will get cancelled and we'll have 10 kx. So this is the basic idea, and now when we sum it from 0 to n, we'll get k equals 0 is giving 10x minus 10 0. K1 will give 10 2x minus 10x, and you can do very fast. At last we'll get n plus 1x minus 10 nx, and everything will get kicked in the process, right? And we'll be left with 10n plus 1x minus 10 0. So this summation goes to 10n plus 1x. Now there is some questions about its existence. So once you know f of nx, which is 10n plus 1x, you'll be tempted to tell the periodic of this function is pi by n plus 1. But in fact, that's the wrong answer, because usually when we talk about periodicity, we talk about periodicity of f from real to real. Since the function is defined from 0 to infinity to real, so it will not be legal to tell its periodic with pi by n plus 1, although the question setter might have that in mind. The second thing is there is little bit ambiguity in the problem statement, and in that sense the problem should be given bonus. The reason being cos kx should not be 0, so they have defined it, but at the same time cos k plus 1x should also not be 0. So which shows k plus 1x should not be 2n plus 1 pi by 2. So there should be other restrictions including this. Some more restriction is required to make this problem appropriate. Otherwise the idea of the problem was pretty simple and it was motivated by previous year, so I'll call it easy and you'll get plus 4 marks here. Okay, or plus 4, yeah. Let's move to the second problem. S is the sample of all 2 cross 2 matrix, and you can see they have given just 2 by 3 matrix, and they ask about invertibility with some of the integer values, the usual trademark of and trend of JEE Advanced. So this becomes an easy one because for invertibility data of A should not be 0, and data of A means A minus B should not be 0. Okay, and it's not very difficult to see, it means A should not be B. So you can clearly find the simple values space of this to find invertibility. Similarly, if S2 is all A belongs to S, so that A inverse exists and contains only integer entity. S3 is all A belongs to S, so that data of A is positive. For data of A positive, A minus B should be greater than 0, which means A should be greater than B. Now already the values of A and B that is given in this window is running from minus 100, minus 99 to 100. Okay, so just collecting this data point from here is not very difficult. And this problem I'll mark as an easy problem because of the simplicity of matrix they have given. Since it's very trivial, so I'm not solving it. I'll solve a better one. Let's move to the third problem from complex number and let's try to solve it. So consider Z0, Z1, Z9 vertices of regular polygon of 10 sides. So we have 10 sided polygon. We started with Z0, Z1, Z2 and so on and so forth. Inscribed in mod Z equal to 1. Let Lk denotes the length between Z0 and Zk. So L1 is Z0, Z1 distance, L2 is Z0, Z2, L3 is Z0, Z3 and so on and so forth. Okay, similarly we'll have Z9 and Z10 is back to Z0, Z8 and so on and so forth. Again, if you'll see, this is a standard problem, similar already appeared in advanced before. Lk denotes the distance between Zk and Z minus 1. So L2 denotes distance 1 and 2 and so on and so forth along a straight line. Okay. So the sum of L1 plus L2 plus L9 is 9 by 5. So what is L1? As you can see by the definition, capital L1 represents distance between 1 and 0. So this distance, right? Similarly, L2 distance between 1 and 2. Now clearly what is this sum of distance? Okay. This sum of distance, if you will see, this distance, because the angle that we are having is 2 pi by 9. Right? In fact, it's will be 2 pi by 10. 2 pi by 10. Okay, so the sum of this distance I can find in terms of theta. So it's basically 1 and 1. So using cosine rule, that distance is nothing but root over 1 square plus 1, which is 2 minus 2ab cos 2 cos it. So that will give you 2 times, with root over 4 times sin square theta by 2, which amounts to 2 sin theta by 2. Mod I am not taking because anyway all these quantity are positive. So clearly there some is 9 5 by 5 is wrong because it will come in terms of sin. Okay. Now coming to option D, before I go to B and C, the product of L1, L2, L3. It means the product of these values Z0 minus Z1 into Z0 minus Z2, so on so on to Z0 minus Z9. They are asking it's 10. So it's not difficult because you know Z to the power 10 minus 1 will have factor Z minus 1 times Z minus Z1 till Z minus Z9. Here Z0 they have taken 1 into consideration, okay, because these are the 9 vertices of 10th root of unity. So 1 2 9 9 and Z0 is, let's say, 1. So clearly if I'll put Z equals Z0 over here, now I'm getting 0 equal to 0 because Z0 is 1, so 1 equal to 0. So what I can take is I can transfer this on this side and we can take limit when Z0 is tending to 1. So this by default will become 10. So 10 equals Z0 minus Z1 till Z0 minus Z9 product. And now what we can do is we can do mod on both sides and that directly gives answer as 10. This result. Okay. So it's very fundamental and this is a well-known result that product of all length in the regular polygon will be 10. Someone could also cheat and scam in the examination. Listen, it's very proper, beautiful way of doing this. Since it's 10th root of unity, you could have done with cube root of unity and taking a square and equals, say, like for third it's coming 3, for 4 it's 4. So if you have faith in your mathematical thinking, then clearly option D goes correct. Let's come to option C. It's also not very difficult to try because the given expression can be written as Zn minus Zi plus 1 mod into Zi plus Zi plus 1. Right? Now we know this gapping Zi and Zi plus 1. Okay, so that denotes the side length. So this is clearly less than equals to 2 times because the maximum mod Zi plus 1 will be lesser than mod Zi plus mod Zi plus 1. A very conservative window if I'll do. So it will be lesser than 2 times of Zi minus Zi plus 1. And the distance is basically these side lengths, right? And we know this side length just now we have seen this side length will be lesser than theta because theta is length by a radius. Okay, so what is this length? This distance, this arc length is basically, as we have seen, is 2 sin theta by 2. and you know sin theta by 2 is less than theta, so it will be less than 2 into theta by 2, which is less than theta indeed. In fact, basically arc length will always be more than this side. So I can tell it's less than this theta, and as you add up from 0 to 8, right, so it adds up from theta equals 0 to 8, I equals 0 to 8 gives 9 theta, so 9 into 2 pi by 10, and that gives 9 pi by 5, and that into 2 gives 18 pi by 5. So option C is correct. Coming to option B, again we can play very simply here, because I is running from 0 to j to 9, zi zj, we have to check this is 0. Again you can do a scheme for cube root of unity or fourth root of unity, and you can easily see this holds in general for any n. But if you want to solve particularly for this, what we can do is, let's fix the value of I to be 0, so z0, and then play with zj. So if I is 0, j will clearly go from 0 to 9, so we'll get z0 plus z1 till z9, right? Similarly, if I'll keep I as, let's say 1, so we have z1, and now j will run from 1 to 9, so j will be strictly more than, in the first case j will be z1 to z9, so z0 times z1 to z9, then it will be z1 times z2 till z9. Similarly we have plus z2 times z3 plus z9, and as you can easily see, like if we'll take all of them, if you are adding this, now you add vertically, so what we'll get is, we are getting z0 plus z1 till z9, again we are getting z1 plus z0 till z9, and this summation is 0. Next summation again z will having, if I'll take z2 common, will get same thing, z3 common will get same thing, and overall summation is going to be 0, right? So it was easy enough, so option B is also correct. Hence the correct answer for this is BCD. In fact, you could have done option B with the zi zj can be written as, like sum of all squares, z1 till z9 whole square you could have done, so a square plus b square, and then 2ab 2bc, all possible combinations from this, right? Because fundamentally it's what is this option B is talking about is all possible combinations, so that can be treated equally by taking whole square and using Euler's form. So I'll rate this a medium to easy problem only. Of question 4, again you can see, if directly idea is coming, because you see similar question already came in JEE Mains, this part. So if this idea strikes, you can give a try immediately, otherwise you can move to the next question. So here for example, idea strikes t tending to x, so I can treat x as some constant for a time being. Let's, for the field, let's take x equals Golu. Okay, so his t tends to x, this becomes x is, let's say 1 or 2, you can feel, so it's derivative by L'Hopital's rule, because 0 by 0 form. Okay, so it will be f of x into cos t minus, t is variable and sine of 1 is constant, so you can feel like that, f dash t sine x divided by t is variable, so 1, and that is equal to sine square x by x square, and limit t tends to x. So the given expression thus becomes f of x cos x minus f dash x sin x equals sin x by x whole square. And now we can see, if f is left and sin is differentiated, minus f is differentiated, sin is left, divided by this whole square. So I'll be tempted to bring sin square x into picture, that will give 1 by x square, and this is minus nothing but dy dx of f by sin x equals 1 by x square. Now you can integrate both expression, and limit of integration you can find from the given restriction of f pi equals 0. Once you get this, you get a function. अब functions में it's very obvious to integrate this. अब यहाँ पे in f of x maybe you can use Taylor series also if you want to estimate the integral fast. ठीक है? So there are many ways of attacking this. That is one such way. Again, if this idea strikes immediately, you can do. Otherwise, you can move to the fifth question. Now, sometimes the student will just leave the fifth one because it might feel a cosmetic creation. But before you leave, it's better at least you read the question once. So S denotes the set of all distinct 3 cross 3 matrices. Distinct word was immaterial because anyway matrices will, the set of matrices will always be, the set contains distinct object anyway, such that all entries in M are from the set 0 to 1. Again, the problem fragrance is coming from the previous year, and that of M is 1. Okay. Now they have additional restrictions. What does this restriction mean? If sigma j equal to 1, 2, 3, aij equals 1 for all matrices. It means, let's say for some particular I, ai1 plus ai2 plus ai3 is becoming 1. For all I belonging to 1, 2, 3. It means, let's say if I keep I as 1, so a11 plus a12 plus a13 is 1. Similarly for I2, a21, a22 plus a23 is 1. So basically इसमें आप समझ गए, we have set of matrices where entries from 0 to 1 and sum of all rows is also 1. Okay, sum of all row is also 1. That is the meaning of this statement. अब you already know if sum of row is 1 and entries from 0 to 1, this is set of permutation matrix, right? And this is already previous year question. So यहाँ पे we want that one. So permutation matrix, there will be 3 factorial permutation matrix with entry 0, 1. For example, one of them is identity, the best example, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. अब यहाँ पे you can have, okay, 6 of them. Out of this, you can easily check 3 of them will have plus 1 as a determinant and 3 of them will have minus 1 as a determinant. ठीक है, तो which 3 will have plus 1 as a det? तो वो आप यहाँ से चेक कर सकते हो. 1, 0, 0 आइडेंटिटी होगा. आफ्टर स्वैपिंग वन ऑफ देम determinant will get negative, so we must have 2 swap 1, 0, 0. And similarly 2 swap 0, 0, 1. If I'll swap this 2, I'll get negative, again I have to swap. So 1, 0, 0 and 0, 1. So we know we have only these 3 guys, okay, with this guardianship, so that they will satisfy the given condition. Now rest is very easy. And what is the like takeaway from these 3 permutation matrix? I have already given a very long lectures. If you see my matrix playlist, a very high level problem then this has been incorporated. So this was just basics of that problem. Anyway, this matrix has a property that M and M transpose is equal, and since that of M is 1, so you can clearly see it's also equals M inverse. यहाँ पे, so what is M transpose? M transpose, M transpose is since M inverse. ठीक है, sorry, for this matrix, as you can see, M transpose and M inverse will be equal. That is a very standard properties of, क्योंकि M into M transpose will be I for all these permutation group. So the question was just like asking you, this is sigma of I. So what is X? X is nothing but 3 times of identity matrix. तो आपको बेवकूफ़ बनाया जा रहा था. So sum of each rows of N inverse is 1. Sum of each rows of N inverse 1 is obviously true. That of X is 37. That's also true. Okay. Sum of diagonal entries of M inverse for all M belonging to S is 1. Sum of diagonal element is 0. Is 0. Even for identity is 3. So this statement is wrong. X minus 3i is invertible where I is, so X is 3i, so 2i. Okay, now 2i is definitely invertible. So this is also correct. Right, so it was an easy problem. See, the point is if you leave it in the first go without reading the problem, you will lose marks. So I guess the takeaway was clear. Takeaway was immediately do not leave the question. Till now we have attempted already lot of questions. So immediately questions को छोड़ना नहीं. अच्छा, option B was X minus 3i, right? Option B was X minus I. No, I read it wrong. So you see, this is again a conceptual mistake as well. So थोड़ा alertness has to be there. See, as a student, if I am doing this, you see, I take question B because I thought like it is X minus I. Now sometimes you'll be like, how that silly thought can come, but it's because lack of alertness. So be alert as a student, okay? So B is clearly wrong because X minus 3i is 0 and 0 is not invertible. Now we can next to 6th problem. 4 players are in semi-finals. So here you can clearly see again it's less of probability. P2 will be in champion P2. So if you are very confident, you do. Otherwise you can do it at the last because here just case making has to be there. Maybe some probability into something. So 2 or 3 case we have to add. Without even reading question I can tell, because a similar problem was there. There is a knockout tournament if you remember of JEE Advanced. That's why I asked you to do last 5 years very properly. So see how much help you'll get. Anyway, coming to question 7 and 8. Now again, I'll not take the credit, but I can tell like a similar problem in the recent probability module I have already incorporated. And if you see my video lectures, lot of problem on continuous probability with basic ideas I have incorporated. Although it's not directly in JEE syllabus, but I still use it, they can ask the question. So Q is a point randomly selected from this square 0 1 0 1 1 1. Let P be a fixed point xy which belongs to this set in this region, and let P5 be the probability that the slope of line passing through P and Q is greater than or equal to 10. So if we have a point, let's say 5 by 8 and 3 by 8, and probability of 10 inverse, so 5 by 8 and 3 by 8 will be somewhere here. What is that? That the slope is more than equal to 10 5 means half. तो अब यहाँ से if we'll draw a line of slope half, तो half का कुछ ऐसा आ जाएगा. Because you can easily write the equation y equal to half times x minus y minus 3 by 8 equals half times x minus 5 8. अब वो करोगे तो we can find this point of intersection. तो यहाँ पे 0 to 1 by 16 will come. यहाँ पे point of intersection will be I think 1 9 by 16. Yeah, 1 9 by 16. Now we know the slope should be greater than half. So this is half slope. So if I go further, clearly it will be greater. So maximum I can go to infinity, right? So what is the final region that I am getting? We'll get this region. This is the desired region of slope more than equal to. If you go further, this is not valid. Let's say if I go to this region, now the slope is negative. Okay, so this line is not valid because slope is negative. Okay, so the question is very clear. Now just we need to do is we have to find this area divide plus this area divided by area of square, which is 1. So basically this area plus this area is the answer. Now here definitely calculation will take 2 minutes. Okay, 2 to 3 minute calculation is there. Okay, smartly you can't bring symmetricity over here. So half into sum of parallel side into height, this base. Similarly half into sum of parallel side, this to height you know, and base you know. So using this two trapezium area, this part if you calculate, so you are getting 35 by 256. And this 5 you will get 51 by 256. So finally you are getting 86 by 256, which amounts to 43 by 128. So you can put it in decimal or whatever you are asking, up to 2-digit decimal. So again, even division also takes time. So it will eat your 3 minutes, including concepts 4. But you are giving extra advantage in question 8. And it's very nicely created to reward those who has read the question and are not escapist. Also for the second part, again you have a square, but the point is very special, half comma half. And you know half comma half will lie along the diagonal y equal to x line, right? And you know half comma half will lie along the diagonal y equal to x line. So if this point is half comma half, and we want slope should be more than 1. So already this guy's slope is 1. So more than 1 it will go up to here threshold, because after this again slope will be negative. So this time we have this area of this side portion, a total area, and this area you can clearly see it's nothing but by symmetricity. This upper area is lower area, so it's 1/4 of the total area of the square. So the second option was 1/4. So the point is like once you read the question you'll be rewarded. So here we got full marks, right? Answer to his question. So +3 +3. So we got +6 over here. This question may again we can either try or leave for the first goal, because you can see again f of x is given in functional form. 0 to 1 f of x is known, and 0 to 1 mod of f of x dx is known. Okay, f of x is a continuous increasing continuous function. So यहाँ पे you can try, because you know in 0 to x how mod of ft will open, that will depend upon where f of t is changing sign. So suppose from this alpha to beta f of t is negative, then mod will open as negative. तब यहाँ पे we don't know in 0 to 1 at a what point this will be negative or positive, आपको पता नहीं. Okay, but they have given let x naught is the value so that f of x naught 0. Okay, so maybe in 0 to 1 there is some value so that f of x naught is 0. Then 0 to 1 these ideas, then value of x naught and y. So this maybe we have to little bit analyze, but in the examination this will do at last. So इसको अभी pending में will put and will go. Now you see if my calculus is very strong, and definitely I can try this here only. But I am assuming in general for students how will you do. अब यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे भी consider a sector blah blah blah, a line segment. First you read roughly P and Q is given. Okay, some the area of triangle BQR, area of triangle this. So directly now they have not asked what is f of theta. Rather you have to find the area by little bit manipulation and find f of theta. Once you find f of theta, and rest they are asking about f. Okay. Similarly in 12th also they have defined a new function g with the help of f auxiliary function and then asking. तो अब इसको भी आप बहुत ही इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि यहाँ पे व्हाट वी कैन डू इज वी कैन ट्राई फाइंडिंग एरिया ऑफ दिस ट्रायंगल. ठीक है, सो हाउ टू फाइंड एरिया ऑफ ट्रायंगल. अब वी नो दिस पॉइंट इज ऑलरेडी 0,1 फ्रॉम द डायग्राम, रेडियस इज 1. दिस पॉइंट इज 1,0 and I set this origin as 0,0. So with this coordinate point P, if I take cos theta comma sin theta, अब you know this line, this r coordinate is cos theta comma 0. ठीक है, अब equation of this line is also known to us, x plus y equal to 1, clearly because intercept is 1. So that will give this point q. अब point q का वैल्यू जो आ रहा है वो डायरेक्टली आ रहा है because x is cos theta, so y is 1 minus sin theta. 1 minus cos theta will come 1 minus x plus y is 1, right? So this becomes easy problem. Now area of triangle is half into base into height, so half into 1 minus cos theta और फिर into 1 minus cos theta. तो ये तो बहुत ही simple calculation they have given. Okay, so first part was very obvious. Now once you got f of theta, our rest is just a rituals. क्योंकि f of theta के बाद f dash by 4 definitely you can check. So if you'll check by differentiating this, so what is f dash theta? It's half into 2 to 1 minus cos theta into sin theta. So sin theta into 1 minus cos theta. तो आप पाई बाई 4 पे चेक कर लो, 1 by root 2 to 1 minus 1 by root 2. So that will give you root 2 minus 1 by 2. So this is clearly wrong. Theta tends to 0, f theta by theta 4. So f theta you already know, 1 minus cos whole square by 2 by theta 4. Now 1 minus cos is 2 sin square theta by 2 whole square by 2 theta 4. This I can approximate as 2 into theta square by 4 whole square by 2 theta 4. यहाँ से अपने पास आ गया theta 4 by 4 into 2 theta 4. Theta 4 cancel 1 by 8, so that's fine. F of theta they have given, so again you can manipulate like 1 minus cos theta whole square you try to bring. So this thing ko you can write as sin theta plus cos theta whole square, right? And again you can take sin plus cos common, so we'll have 1 plus sin minus cos. I hope you know how to manipulate. So sin is gone, so you have sin plus cos into 1 minus cos by 2. So clearly ये तो नहीं है. अब फिर f of 5 by 3 आप चेक कर लीजिए. ठीक है, तो ये फर्स्ट पार्ट 11th was easy and you will get full marks over here. तो यहाँ पे +3. सेकेंड पार्ट में थोड़ा टेक्निकलिटी इज देयर. तो यहाँ पे व्हाट वी हैव टू डू इज, वंस वी नो एफ ऑफ थीटा इज हाफ इंटू 1 माइनस कॉस थीटा होल स्क्वायर, आई हैव टू यूज दिस इंफॉर्मेशन टू गो टू जी वर्ल्ड, राइट? अब जी वर्ल्ड इज नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज देयर एग्जिस्ट समथिंग एज दैट जी डबल डैश एफ थीटा इज मोर देन दिस. अच्छा, एफ थीटा इज मोर देन दिस इज डायरेक्टली कमिंग फ्रॉम एफ इंफॉर्मेशन. तो यहाँ से तो आप टेलर सीरीज भी लगा सकते हो, क्योंकि कॉस थीटा का टेलर सीरीज विल बी व्हाट, 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta 4 by 4 factorial and so on and so forth. Okay, again minus theta 6 by 6 factorial, sin theta is theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial. So these are standard Taylor series. ऐसे ही you are seeing algebraic species and trigonometric, so think of Taylor series connection. Again this is a most natural way to start with because JEE is already asking about. तो वहाँ से आप फिर इसको 1 minus cos theta को आप देख सकते हो थीटा स्क्वायर बाई 2 माइनस थीटा 4 बाई 4 फैक्टोरियल 24 एंड दिस टाइप का टर्म बनना शुरू हो जाएगा. ठीक है, एंड दिस होल स्क्वायर दे आर गिविंग. तो होल स्क्वायर ऑल्सो यू कैन टेक थीटा आउट एंड यू कैन मैनिपुलेट. तो ये विद टेलर सीरीज वी कैन ट्रैक ऑप्शन भी. ऑप्शन सी को ट्रैक करना बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है, क्योंकि जी थीटा इज बिकमिंग 0 रूट थीटा. You see what is 2 times of ft? 2 times of ft will become 1 minus cos t whole square, and that root is there, so it's already 1 minus cos t dt. 1 minus cos t is always positive, and that e to the power minus t. ठीक है. अब इसको either you can do integration by parts directly and to find the value of g pi by 4. तब 0 से pi by 4, this is a very typical integration by parts जहाँ से आप कर सकते हो. दूसरा, if I'll differentiate g dash, so I'll get 1 minus cos theta e ka power minus theta. Next, if I'll double differentiate, we'll get, leave this, differentiate that, right, and plus leave this, differentiate that, so that is sin theta. So यहाँ से you can see minus e to power theta common, sin theta minus 1 plus cos theta. So there exists some theta 0 to pi by 2, such that g double theta is 0. Now clearly g double theta, this cannot be 0, so the only possibility is sin theta plus cos theta has to be 1. Now you know from sin theta cos theta graph will at 0 it will be 1, at pi by 2 it will be 1. Okay, so between 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2, there exists some angle such that g theta is 0, and that's clearly is there. Okay, because there is one point at pi by 2 only, where this extreme point, this becomes 0. If I'll put g double dash pi by 2, so you can clearly see that is 0. I say g dash increasing decreasing, so g dash we have already seen. Now increasing decreasing के लिए this quantity is positive, so 1 minus cos theta को देख लो. 1 minus cos theta is always positive in this interval. ठीक है, so it's increasing. जी डैश इंक्रीजिंग के लिए जी डबल डैश देखना होगा. ओके, सो इन दिस इंटरवल यू आर सेइंग इन 0 to pi by 2 इंटरवल sin theta plus cos theta इज ऑलवेज मोर देन दिस. ओके, सो दिस जी डैश थीटा इज पॉजिटिव, सो डी इज इंक्रीजिंग. तो ये भी क्वेश्चन फिर इसमें देखो पूरा का पूरा 6 मार्क्स आ गया दोनों से, तो ये भी सही क्वेश्चन था. अब इलिप्स आइदर यू रीड द क्वेश्चन और पोस्टपोन फॉर द लास्ट गो if you are not comfortable in coordinate, or if you are comfortable, then the ultimate motivation you are having is you have extended ellipse or parabola in the syllabus. So is the ellipse an xy plane? E is tangent to both x and y axis. The moment is tangent to both axes, now life becomes simple, because length of semi major axis is a and length of semi minor is b. So we have semi major is a and b. So now the center becomes a comma b only, right? And now rest is just rituals, because every information they have given. So let's see if I have focus S1 and S2. So you know at A plus AE the focus will be there, right? So this coordinate will be A plus AE distance, comma B. This distance will be A minus AE, comma B. And they have given some isosceles triangle here. Okay. So for isosceles triangle, what we can do is we know O F1 F2 is isosceles with angle is given 2 pi by 3. So this is isosceles, and this is already 2 pi by 3, which is 120. So I can drop perpendicular and we can see this is 60, right? With that 60 I know what is, because since this is isosceles, so this will be the midpoint, right? Distance from origin to S2 is known, which is A plus AE whole square plus B square root. So that divided by 2 is basically this distance to AE, and cos 60 is base by hypotenuse, sin 60 is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So in that a small chunk, if you use this is 2AE, this angle is theta, so this you can easily find, right? Because it's 90 degree. So I can find sin theta is perpendicular by 2AE, and this is root 3 by 2 sin 60. So perpendicular is root 3AE. So this is in fact will give root 3AE. Now you see, like clearly in ellipse we have b square is a square into 1 minus a square, and putting this value straightforward we will get two values of e, one is positive, one negative, and that solves the problem. Locus of point of intersection of pair of perpendicular tangents. That's very obvious, because to an ellipse pair of perpendicular tangent will meet on diagonal circle. Okay, and you know for extended ellipse the diagonal circle equation is x square plus a square is a square plus b square. For extender having center 0 0, so hence here center is shifted, so it will go to x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square equal to a square plus b square, as simple as this. And the area of ellipse, and that is very obvious. तो ये भी आपका easy problem में I'll tell. Easy for those who have no fear for like coordinate geometry. If you have fear, then again you can postpone it. So either you'll get 0 here or 6 here. So there is either 0 or 6 depending upon your basic logic. Let's come to 15. So in a triangle ABC, again, if you are not comfortable with solution of triangle, and if you feel like you have little bit fear, then leave it in the first go, and better to move to 16 and 17. Now because 17 is very easy problems. Out of these three, if you have to select one of them, even if you are good at complex, better you select area of region. Why? Okay, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, we have this region is x0 to 1 and y0 to 1. We have this square and xy equal to half. So at x equals 1 we'll get y equals half. So we have this graph as xy equal to half, and let's plot xy equals 1 by 4 is this region, right? So all that I need to do is to find this area, the area of this iron portion. So it's not difficult now because the x coordinate for this point is going to be half, and the x coordinate of other point is 1 by 2. So what we'll do is first we'll find the area of this. We'll divide this area into two chunks to calculate the answer. So let's see. If I divide the area into two chunks, so we have chunk 1 and plus out of this entire rectangle I'll take away this area, right? So area of chunk 1 is not again difficult because this region is integral of 1 by 2 to 1. Okay, integral half to 1. We have 1 by 4x minus 1 by 2x dx. So that gives you ln of 1 minus ln half. Like first integral will become 1 by 4 ln 1 minus ln half and minus 1 by 2 ln 1 minus ln half. So ln 1 is gone, so it's 1 by 4 ln 2 because ln half is minus. And this is again ln 1 gone, and we have plus 1 by 2 ln 2. So this gives, let's check the calculation. So we have upper area as 1 by 4x, lower area. Okay, so we have 1 by 4 ln 2 plus 1 by 2 ln 2. Okay, let's come to this region. So this region we have half and 1 by 4, so that is 1 by 4. So it's 1 by 4 minus this second curve was lower curve, so integral 1 by 4 to 1 by 2 ln 1 by 4x, right? 1 by 4x dx. So this integral gives you 1 by 4 ln half minus ln 1 by 4. That gives 1 by 4 and ln 4 minus ln 2. Clear? So we have 1 by 4 ln 2. So finally we have 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4 ln 2. And this calculation, again we have to be a little bit alert. So you see, with less alertness I did the calculation, it's gone. So थोड़ा आप alertness के साथ इसको calculate कीजिए. तो ऊपर वाला area जो है, ऊपर वाला area is coming for half, and नीचे वाला area is 1 by 4, right? So it will be ulta. It will be ulta. 1 by 2x half to 1 by 2x dx minus half to 1 by 4x dx minus half to 1 by 4x dx. तो यहाँ से we got half ln 1 minus ln half minus 1 by 4 ln 1 minus ln half. So ln 1 is gone, ln 1 is gone. We have half ln 2 and we have minus 1 by 4 ln 2. Okay, so that gives minus 1 by 4 ln 2. So final answer is 1 by 4, okay, minus 1 by 4 ln 2, and that gives plus 1 by 4 ln 2, so that gets cancelled. And if we calculate this 1 by 4 minus this total area minus that area, we are getting 1 by 4 ln 2, as you can see. So the final answer is 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4 ln 2 plus 1 by 4 ln 2, that gets cancelled, and 1 by 4 is the answer. So this was in super easy problem. So 1 by 4 times 32 is 8. Don't write 1 by 4, okay. Now you can try complex number. This complex number, again mod z is given, you have to find the largest possible real part. So what we can do first is we can multiply with z bar, okay. So z bar may mod z square is z bar, so that gives 16, and that's make our lives simple because it boils to 6 comma 9, 6 plus 9 and z bar, and first guy is 48 and 81 z. See, sometimes you can use even this ordered pair for quick calculation, or I, whatever you wish. Now what we'll do is we'll simply put z as a plus iv, or you can use even polar format also, 4 e ka power I data. So that gives 18 times 12 cos minus 16 sine. If I'm telling a as 4 cos theta and b as 4 sine theta, because mod z is 4. You know 12 cos 16 sine maximum value is around 12 square plus 16 square, so which is already perfect square 20. So answer is 316. So it was again an easy problem. Let's come to question 15. So in a triangle at ABC being order geometrical progressions, let's say if you take AAR and AR square, they are in GT. If the set of all possible value of cos A plus sin A cot C blah blah blah. So first we have to decode it. One way maybe you can try to relate cos A with cosine rule, but again sin A and cot C you have to remember so many formulas. There might be some basic trick. What we can do is it's better to simply evaluate cot C as cot C by sin C, and we have cos B plus sin B cos C by sin C. And now you can see very interestingly sin C will get cancelled and we'll have sin C appearing here. So upper wala is nothing but sin A plus C, at the denominator becomes sin B plus C. Sin A plus C is same as sin B because sin pi minus theta is sin theta. So A plus C I can write pi minus B, and this is sin A, and by sine rule it's A by 2B. Okay, so it's B by 2R by A by 2R, so it's basically B by A, and what is B by A is nothing but common ratio. So question just boils down to finding common ratio, and this question was directly taken from KBPY previous year, but still let's take this. Just they have added this part, and this is very famous in JEE mains also they have asked. So now if three sides are in triangle formulation, then A plus AR must be greater than AR square. A gets cancelled, 1 plus R must be R square. तो यहाँ से देख सकते हो R square minus R minus 1 should be less than 0. So R का will get 2 root 1 plus minus root 5 by B square minus 4AC by 2. Okay, so clearly one value of R is 1 plus root 5 by 2. The other value is negative. Okay, so since it's a parabola, so we'll take it from 1 plus root 5 by 2 to 0. So this is one of the answer. The other answer you can take is again sum of two sides is more than third side. So this time if I'll take R plus R square is more than, let's say, 1, then I'll get R square plus R minus 1 is greater than 0. So again we have two roots. So minus 1 plus B square minus 4AC 5 by 2. Okay, so this time we'll take minus 1 plus root 5 by 2. And we have again minus 1 minus root 5. So more than this means we must have R value more than minus 1 plus root 5 by 2. And from here it must be less than 1 plus root 5 by 2. So final restriction on R, that is coming is R must lie from minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 to 1 plus root 5 by 2. Equality will not hold because equality will make degenerate triangle. तब ये आपका value of alpha आ गया. And this becomes value of beta. So alpha square plus beta square, very simple, and that will give you what, 1 by 4 times 2 times root 5 square plus 4 square, so 612. So the answer is 3. Clear? So this was also easy question. 16 is also fine. So you see, almost we killed the paper very smartly, and I guess like it has taken around 1 hour, less than that only, because some calculation I'm not done. So expected from you like it will take little bit more time for you. But the takeaway was very clear, like the proper selection of question and when to do what is important. For example, in question 2 still calculation was needed, which I have not done actually. So I'm giving you 5 minutes for that. Suppose question 6 still be left, so now you can try. Okay, and that also depends on what is the level of other uh, papers like physics and chemistry and the comfortable read at which. Again, given a time, you could have tried question number, like this also integral question, because this paper was not that dangerous, but still like the actual advanced paper will be more or less similar to this. Maybe some questions will be more difficult than this, and that will definitely be there, but overall if proper selection is needed to get a very good rank. Okay, तो अगर आप सही से सेलेक्ट करते हो क्वेश्चंस को ना, तो आप ऑलमोस्ट 50 to 60% तो पेपर का बना ही सकते हो अगर आपका बेसिक स्ट्रॉन्ग है. एंड इफ़ यू आर वाचिंग माई यूट्यूब चैनल ऑल्सो, मोस्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स, because I'm not among those faculties which will unnecessarily give you only fun loving problems which is not relevant for JEE Advanced. So even those who are watching these videos for JEE Advanced 2025 who are yet to write, for 2024 candidates, all the best for examination. Just have patience and try to work on your calculation very properly. Okay, instead of solving full paper, you reduce the under sample space. You try to attempt 80% of the paper with 100% efficiency rather than other way around, like 100% paper with 80% efficiency. जितना करो सही से करके आओ. ओके, ऑलवेज इज बेटर. जिसमें नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं हो उसको यू फ्रीली अटेम्प्ट. ओके, गिव अ फ्री हैंड देयर. एंड थोड़ा मेरा स्कैम ऑल्सो यू कैन डू, like I've told you now, when 10th root of unity was there, so those questions you can start with 3rd root or 4th root also if you are not getting any ideas. So I hope this analysis of paper was very relevant and especially needed at this time. So all the best, keep watching videos, and we'll meet soon.